All right, we are out here in the frozen tundra or wasteland that is our test flight facility for the day. I have no developer in front of me. They are staying warm in the Les Brew like I should be. But in any case, we have a developer micro that will be attempting its first automated flight. Hopefully it does not get blown away. And then we'll also have a developer where there is a user error. Definitely couldn't have been me as the user, but kidding aside, there's the follower functionality or Follow Locator Tool functionality in the iVue RC app that I'll be showing off as well. So let's start off with the micro and see if we can get that out of the way, so to speak. I should have plugged in the radio to my computer first, but what are the chances that this just catches a signal and blows away, takes off and blows away, right? That could and would never happen. All right. Can I bust my ass 2 days in a row? Let's find out. At least that probably won't be on a penny board today. At least not now. Not filming this video. Plugging in the controller as well. Have a USB hub to accomplish that. Not that that's too pertinent, but we're using the production version of World's iVue in the iVue RC app. So anything we do here, you can also do yourself. All right, we have connection to 7 satellites. The battery voltage based off the percentage does not work properly here in the iVue RC app for the developer micro. That's probably because we use a 3-cell. We might even move to a 2-cell battery by the time it hits production, but nonetheless, our developer models are all either 4S or, in the case of the HP, a 6S battery. So still only at 7 satellites. Really want to get to about 10 satellites before we attempt a takeoff here. That'd be kind of funny if that developer blows over before it takes off. It'd be kind of telling that probably not the best time to attempt this Maiden automated flight. All right, up to 8 satellites. And you know what? I am going to disconnect here in the iVue RC app just to see if we have any magnetic interference problems like we had yesterday outside my parents' house where we attempted this when it was actively sleeting. Perfect time for maiden flights of a drone this size, right? All right. Let me go over to loiter flight mode. All right, it looks like we would actually be ready to fly with 10 satellites. Not ideal with a 1.1 HDOP, which means it can vary about 1.1 meters in position, horizontally speaking. So let's close out of Q ground control and see if we can actually arm and take off. Connect. We're in loiter flight mode. Purposely closed out IQ ground control, didn't crash, but all right, let's fly drone. Going to attempt arming and flying. Take off to 10 feet. Okay, wow, yeah, look at that wind. Well, technically, we have our first automated maiden flight for the developer micro. I think it was a bit too windy, but it looks like there's more than just the wind going on there. Wow, the battery actually... That could have not been good. The props were still spinning. Good thing I had gloves. All right. Well, all the electronics are still intact. Flight controller still in place. The battery blew out the back, so, you know. Oh, yeah, the landing gear are all gone. I thought maybe the wind might have twisted one of the boom arms, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I guess the battery just moved too much. It blew out the 3D printed side of the battery enclosure. So I think Velcro straps are going to be needed on both sides, just like we have on all the other developer models. But otherwise, all things considered, not too bad. I'll need to go recover those 3D printed pieces as well from the landing gear. But for now, we'll put this developer micro up, and I'll call that a success where others may not see it that way. All right, going all the way around all of these 8 steps. Eight steps is a lot better than 12 steps, right? I'm not that much of a degenerate, believe it or not. Although that's debatable. All right. Can a full-size base model developer maintain better in these very gusty conditions? Wow, look at can ice skate out here. Here's the back side to the battery enclosure. I'm also just looking for the landing gear pieces really quick. I think I'll come back to do that though after I get this developer off the ground. I'm getting one of these motions from the camera guy, acting like it's cold out here or something. Oh, cold and windy. All right, let's zoom in. And also great conditions to be testing out a new feature. All right, and so I mentioned we're using the production version, but it looks like the update is not actually in the production version. So let me go over to the development version. And so Mohit can see version 1.5.4. And then again, I guess Havish is the lead on this new feature. So if it doesn't work, Havish, what the hell, man? And if it does work, good job, I guess. All right. So I should just be able to fly drone, arm and fly, and take off to 10 feet. All right, look at that, big brother developer showing little baby brother developer micro how it's done. So the locator tool to actually use this properly, and there is an offset. So just to give you a heads up, it's not going to fly exactly to where I click, but now let's see what happens when I hit Follow Locator Tool. All right, and now I'm going to move it here. Okay. Oops. So it initiated a landing for some reason. Maybe this locator tool sets the altitude to 0. Let me open up the menu. It set it into smart RTL mode. So I guess there is a bug with this, but it did react to the locator tool's position. So again, I guess a partial win. So 2 partial wins. I guess 2 halves equal a whole, right? So I think that's it for this test flight session. Stay tuned for some more content. We'll have a thermal camera on one of our developer models, a developer HP, coming up soon, but otherwise you'll have to stay tuned to find out what's coming up next. Thanks for watching. Peace.